Great rising, beautiful beings. How's it going today? This is RevereSkye'sEssence. Just to let you know, this mic is not hooked up. It's not a prop. Got the power cord, and there's a heavy-duty jack cord that goes to it. And you can hook it directly to your phone. The only problem is, I got other jack cords, but I'm like, where's my jack cord? Okay, so I've separated from the jack cord. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Best Buy and get another heavy duty jack cord because we can't be bullshitting. We got to have the highest quality we can have with this. But for now, it's just a prop, thanks to Hollywood, right? And I think it's fun to tell y'all shit like that. Now you know what you can do. Don't wait. Don't wait. Use what you got and keep on trucking. Now, we're pulling back out this true crime deck because we have to follow up with the devil, okay? I really should edit this video and allow my video to play, right? But I just want to find those 5 cards. I want to find those 5 cards where the devil said that they were, okay? The devil said they was in water, a tunnel, that was their home, and there was a fire, and there was a cult dealing with mind control. Then we got this burial and all that other stuff. But we're gonna stick with these first, okay? So the Eastern Star is the upside down 5 of Pentacles, right? The Eastern Star symbol, right? Then you have the Baphomet symbol, which is the upside down Eastern Star, which is the upside down 5 Pentacle, right? The horns, the bottom. Look it up. I need to pull the picture up, but I'll see if I want to edit the video. I don't mind editing the video. I just don't want to. Okay? Okay, so now, and I was saying, are you saying like you're a physical being and you're in water and you're so powerful that you have a coat under mind control? Name something else, beautiful beings. Name something else that can put you under mind control. Okay. Seaman can put you under mind control. The vaginal wound, the Ankh, okay, which is a portal. You have the waters. Before you even go into the tunnel, there's waters. And then you feel the home. And then you feel the fire. Now, for some reason, the devil was in my lap. Where is the devil? The devil was in my lap as if it was already home. Inside, okay? My hair crawling, yeah. As if it was inside, okay? I think I can feel my hair growing. Where is the devil? I'm trying to flip every card around and stuff. Okay, come on, devil. I know you're in here. Okay. The card was in my lap. And do you know the mysteries of you self-hate? We live in a patriarchal society. So why wouldn't the devil be a female? They show you the Baphomet, a hermaphrodite with breast, a phallus. We have no clue if it has a yoni, but this waterway, this tunnel that's home with the fire lit that can gather its own coats. That's right. You could do the Angela Bassett and you'll have them playing Russian roulette, right? And mind control. So the world we live in is a patriarchal society. They burned the good old books for the matriarchal society. And you don't even have to call yourself a she-devil. You the one. You know how like Uber took over the name for taxi? Well, you the devil. Feminine portal. You the devil. And what's so alternate about it, think about it. Everybody say, oh, God lived within me. Maybe the devil lived within you too. But maybe the devil don't reside within everybody. That's why when you listen to people on their own homestead that are strictly in the book and read the Bible all the time, what's happening? They say, oh, the female can be easily persuaded. She could be easily tempted. Come on now, you say she tempted Adam. So who really being tempted? The man is being tempted by the flesh and the aura of the woman. She dibbling and dabbling in other worlds. She's dibbling and dabbling in other worlds. She has connectivity to other worlds, which can bring some type of control onto the masculine male. That's why they hid all the books, destroyed all the books, removed her from a sacred origin. She's no longer a sacred origin, only hidden. You know, the Black Madonna, Guadalupe, Sophia, okay, Mother Mary. All of these deal with the divine feminine principle, okay? There's also the pharaohs with several, you know, alter ego, feminine principle versus male principle, okay? You got the female version of Osiris, okay? You got the female version of Hotep and all of them, okay? The mathematician and all of that, the female version, okay? They just made everything, they just defeminized everything. They made everything masculine. Hold on. They rude butts would play too. They trying to see that. I'm not going to support nobody else who has. Well, no, they've been doing it. Rap music do it too, so I can't say that. But the vibe, okay? I'm going to have to do something about this music. I might have to go back to... I don't know. I like to play what I want to play. I might be tempted to buy YouTube subscription so I don't have ads no more. Ads is what pay people, so it is what it is. So back to it, because we're not going to lose this train of thought, okay? So yesterday when I was saying, wow, this is a homicide crime deck, and nothing came about homicide or crime when I asked to speak to the devil. And I kept saying, my eye is watering. See what I'm talking about? Hold on. Okay, so I kept saying my eye is watering, but it's nothing bothering my eye. I kept saying, wow, why am I so emotional? That was hysteria. That was my yoni. That was my womb speaking. Why do I like gargles? Why did I say when I was young, on another channel, I said when I was young, I always wanted to be a hermaphrodite. I wanted the best of both worlds. I said, shit, you know, because the way I'm stimulated doesn't seem like the ordinary, typical female sex. And it took a guy to send me videos of another way of having sex. And I was like, you're right, this is it, but I still feel like I'm missing a few inches, okay? So yeah. But the devil was in my lap, okay, in the seat. That's the Baphomet symbol. That's the 5-pointed star upside down. That's the Eastern Star. That's the same thing that the British use at their events they have the female with the goat head on, or whatever entity that is, okay, with the horns. The horns are your ovaries, okay, fallopian tubes and stuff, and your uterus and the canal, right? I don't know what the other part of the star is, but the horns, the ovaries, is something that's connected. They don't want us to know what it is. But this is not for the weak. This is for a divine feminine who's missing aspects of herself that she needs to ignite. Okay? They wonder why you cutthroat. Like when I said the other day, like a child, you know, you brought them in the world, you could take them out, right? A female aspect with the womb, who has a proper womb that actually works, she could go into hysteria. She could go into lunatic mode, okay? But she can also control other people, okay? And that's why you're intoxicated. You're intoxicated through your food. You're intoxicated through your free will. You're intoxicated through your breath, your chi, your prana, okay? You've been convinced that you need outside remedies to keep you holistic with equilibrium, okay? So yeah, the water that hides the tunnel is your divine home, your divinity. And if you tap into it, if you tap into that sacral energy and that solar plexus energy, it brings on the devil within you, which is the Christ. Think about it. They say God, 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 but what has God done collectively? Look at how many people on the planet believe in a God. But we're still being poisoned, intoxicated. There's so many things going wrong. We're still being depopulated. So I don't understand that part, okay? To each his own. I'm not here to argue with you about it. I want to stick with the subject. If the coin has two sides, if there's a tree of cabal, and then there's roots under the ground, and there's a black cabal, Kabbalah. For some reason, something don't want me to talk. Okay? And then there's the dark side of it. What make you think your energy, your glowing light, that good side of you that won't steal, kill, won't unalive, hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly, right? What about that you don't have a home for your dark side? Maybe that's why you're in so much trouble. Maybe that's why you're in so much fear. Because you don't have a home for your dark side. It can't shine. It can't oscillate. It can't speak from its own frequency. It's being dormant. It's being shut down. It's being manipulated. It's like you've buried it and you don't want to see it no more. That's like having a person from Haiti say they don't believe in voodoo no more, or hoodoo. They've completely turned against what has protected them for several hundred years, if not more. Think about it. Let's see, can we get a few crystals that can help access this inner power. We got amethyst at the bottom of the deck. That's a knowing power, okay? Everything in moderation, include moderation, right? Maybe some people need God in moderation and they need to start tapping into their devil within, okay? You can't know God unless you know the devil. You can't know the devil unless... You can't acknowledge the devil unless you know God. But I'm going to tell you something, who speak to people the most. They say the devil speak to people the most. Okay? They just going to be rude with my... And then they doing the whole video. They're not letting you skip. That's the bull crap. And it's not that. I'm sure this video can be skipped. It's because of what I'm talking about. You can't know truth if you've never experienced a lie. So, I'm to the point now. Been talking about God the whole life. And how you think these goons and goblins. Now, I ain't been coughing or nothing. Now I got this cough. Just hear me out now. How could I be around God my whole life and a God never spoke to me? Like, there's no telling what intervened, but then you got these goons and goblins. And how was I able to identify these goons and goblins? I was able to identify the energy. And I was able to stand my ground or either stay out of Dodge, right? In that process, I think that there was a higher source within me that was able to read that frequency. There's something about us being protected on this realm, okay? A lot of people may say, oh, well, you just want me to believe in Satan, the devil, Lucifer, the light bearer, the light bringer. No. It was clearly said, eat from this tree to see the knowledge. Okay? Let's see, Spirit. And I'm eating from the tree. I'm eating from the dark side of the tree. I don't want to just see the part. The part we see is the part of their accomplishments from coming back from the dark side. Say it again, Revere Sky. What we see around us is their accomplishments from the dark side, from mastering the dark side, from learning the dark side. When you see them buildings go up, them temples go up, these new technologies come out, that's from them going into the ethers and the dark side. What they tell you to stay in the light and be a consumer. I'm dipping my toe in. I'm diving in head first. I'm going to check my temperature. And Spirit said, don't think that you have to do blood sacrifice rituals to get this gnosis. Spirit just said it. Don't think you have to do blood sacrifice rituals to get this gnosis. See what it is, these people want shit faster than it's going to come. Okay? The same way you got to have discipline. You see that drug knocking people off? You see that trait or that habit making people lose their families? Breaking the household? Same goes with this situation. They know who eager enough to sell out. And then they paint this picture on this. No. See, they're different. What they're praying to is nothing like what we're actually capable of harnessing. And that's the divine feminine. Okay? What we're capable of harnessing. Why you think the man want to tap in? Why you think the man don't care if another... Listen, it's a part of them that's receiving information even if they can't compute it. Even if they can't decrypt it. When they stick their phallus in you, their spirit and tethers is sending out information where it needs to go. They did their job. They did their job with their lineage. Spirit, can you give me a crystal that can help awaken the tunnel and the waters? Charoite, almost like amethyst. Charoite, destiny, Can you believe that? Destiny came out. Destiny. Fate is like a strange, unpopular restaurant filled with odd little waiters who bring you things you never asked for and don't always like. That sounds about right. Fate is like a strange, unpopular restaurant filled with odd little waiters who bring you things you never asked for and you don't always like. So we done got tricked out of this. Our oppressor told us we have a devil, right? And told us we had a God. Seems like we need to see who our oppressor's devil is, okay? And the only person on the planet, the major resource, is melanated beings. And out of those melanated beings, who's the most valuable? You equally have your part, but who's the most valuable? Because you really only need like 2 or 3 men to all these women, okay? And she has access to the keys. She has access to the fire. She has the waters and the tunnel, okay? And she also has her following. Remember, save all the women and children. She got her following, and she could put them under mind control and possession. It's just that you have not been destined to that level of, and look, Pearl, you have not been destined to that level of understanding, knowing, or gnosis, okay? Oh, this is 2 cards. Okay. See how I just told me I could skip? I turned the volume down because I don't want it in my video. And all of a sudden, I was magically able to skip. See, this is the thing. Somebody may say, oh, she's trying to influence us to step away from God, to step away from Christ, to step away from Jesus. No, you need everything. You need all aspects of yourself. That's how you stay protected. There are many frequencies that have fallen because they only knew one way. They knew how to stay in harmony, but something knew how to tap into their core frequency and tear them apart. They didn't know how to fight. They only knew how to stay harmonic. Okay? That's why they say, conquer. Do not unite and conquer, whatever that is. We got Petersite. Yeah, Petersite for direction. So far you need Chairite for your destiny. You need Petersite for direction because I'm trying to get you to follow the waters within your own tunnel, which is home to a life force energy, right? That has a fire, okay? Which is considered the devil, is considered bad. Like the Kundalini energy, like your awakening, like your pilot. I tell people all the time, you need to go get on a treadmill and walk real fast and jog. If you don't do it much, you might gag and be about to throw up or something. Hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly, right? But once you break wind and that pilot lights up and whew, you find the fire. There's an awakening. You experience the devil, the Kundalini energy, that serpent energy within you. Okay? When I was young, I always wanted gargoyles. I always wanted gargoyles on my house. Like, if I go out there and build something brick right now, I'll make sure I can sit gargoyles on the house and have water pouring through them. I don't fear this. Nothing about this I fear. Like I say, to be introduced to this energy, you do not have to sacrifice or bloodshed. That's low vibratory rate. You have this in a high vibratory rate too. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th chamber and beyond. It's the dark side. It's the shadow side. It's the part that never really goes into manifestation. It's only like, I don't know why I feel like it's a little fly flying around here. And it's like a parallel dimension which brings a force within here. Okay? A force within here. Deep down inside, like that man was screaming in this video. You got to take everything you're mad at, everything you're frustrated about, and hit it right in here. And everything around him, boom, and move. Also a Moissanite for truth, your heart. So your communication for direction, Chariot for your mind, and a Moissanite for truth. But better to get hurt by the truth than comforted by the lie. Oh my goodness. Didn't I just say at the very beginning of this video, the truth and the lie? Didn't I just say it's two sides to the coin? Didn't I say if you identify with God, you need to identify with the devil? You turning your back on Satan. That's what the book says. Satan, get behind me. Be the eyes behind me. You know what you did? You allowed a government or a society or an agenda to be the eyes and ears behind you. You, like I say, them Haitians come over here and they got to believe in Christ and the Bible because they made it seem so wicked and corrupt, like mischief. They brought chaos to their land and they thought that what they was doing wasn't working because they started using it for cutthroat purposes, for fiat currency, fake currency. I know people right now, all they do is attack people with magic. I say, now, how I got all this property, like merchandise, but you making more money than me, and I'm selling my products and services, but you're making more money than me. Come to find out, these people are attacking other people. So if they say create a voodoo doll, if they say, it is a fruit fly over there. If they say, build this candle to attack somebody, they'll do it. They'll do it. But it also comes with karma. They end up going into lunatic asylums, jail, start having some type of bad luck, some type of shady deals. Things they purchase just all of a sudden disappear. You can't make this shit up. Spirit, can we get something for the solar plexus and the root chakra and the sacral energy? What crystal would help us access the waters and the tunnels? Hematite and ruby. Oh, that's crazy. Don't that look like devil energy? Don't that look like gargoyle energy, that hematite? And look at that ruby. I want me a real ruby. Hematite. Oh my goodness! Hematite, the devil. You cannot make this shit up. What? Hell is empty and all the devils are here. It says hell is empty and all the devils are in the hematite. And I've always had hematite. And I've never felt nothing weird. And just imagine if the hematite had bound a certain frequency. And we walk around with it. Hematite is like magnetite, but it doesn't have any magnetism. I've always had hematite. You know how they say wear the ring until it break? Wear the bracelets until they break? And ruby. Can you believe that? I just said, give me a crystal that helps with the solar plexus, root chakra, and the sacral chakra. And hematite and ruby flew out. And it says, devil. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. They say hell empty. Ruby. You know what? That shit got me so thrilled. I didn't even realize that commercial was on for a second. Ruby, infinity. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Ashe. That's that fire within you. You consume everything. That's why they got you bounded by all this rock and stuff. And you even melt that. Listen, this is for a divine feminine who has lost her way, that needs some ignite, some motion. I was going to put this on Patreon. I was not going to share it for free. If you would like to donate to the channel, by all means, check out the links in the description. Also, I have Cashap and PayPal and Zelle. This is to the divine feminine that needed this spark, that have been ignoring a side of them that's more courageous, less godly, more profound. Not telling you to turn back on an aspect of yourself. What I'm telling you to do is to tap in to that energy that has been neglected, that men fear, that politics fear. Ain't that something? They don't think you have enough mentality to be a president or a queen or a king or empress or a high priestess. Because you've put out a fire within you. It's dormant. It's dormant. Spirit, can we get one final card? I was looking for some for the solar plexus too. Growth, emerald. Follow your heart space. If you open up that heart, that thymus gland, the solar plexus is going to work with it. Okay? Some reason the solar plexus hasn't come out yet. Something is saying, let me read this. Now, let me get it off my mind first. Something is saying, when you ignite this side of yourself, that what they call a soul will exist but not be the forefront. You'll be walking in another nature. You would be actually the beast. I'm not saying go get jumped. Let me tell you something, baby. There's been times I've always did white witch magic and made hella money doing it. Okay? I've given people the products and everything. I don't know what these people was dibbling and dabbing in to the point they had to come to a white witch. I've had people get hotel rooms and go get Airbnbs and take baths and don't stay the whole night. Because whatever they left there, they left there. And when you see them, they got this little, you feel me? You feel me? They ain't even on drugs. They have been tampered with. Their spirit and soul and temple has been tampered with. They come up to you with that wink. You feel me? You feel me? Let me tell you something. They were tapped into. They were vulnerable. They were susceptible. Okay? They were vulnerable. They were susceptible. In this case, identify with it. Maybe all divine feminine don't have that burning fire that's dormant. I feel like some of us do. And we get bashed. We get bashed just like the masculine principle. Oh, you too hostile. You're too animalistic. You're too outrageous. You don't know how to tame yourself. The mad black woman. And excuse me to all the pale folks out there, but I'm really trying to. Hey, y'all got it in you too, but we on a different channel right now, okay? And I'm not neglecting y'all. Divine feminine, no matter your race, you're more than welcome to understand why you have been suppressed so long, why you have an oppressor, why you have a suppressor, okay? Emerald for growth. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than a risk it took to blossom. Ashe. This is a new awakening. This is a blossoming state. It's not designed for everybody. And I don't expect anybody to get it. I don't expect anybody to get it. I don't expect anybody to get it. Any final card, Spirit? You're going to awaken a part of you. And this is not saying you're putting your soul to the side. Okay? It just means that you're about to activate something. See, they had you looking outside of yourself anyway. And they had you longing for this energy, which is going to always be with you. How is it going to disconnect? You never know, it could disconnect, but that's like saying, I'm going to disconnect you from source. You're not going to live and breathe and be animated no more with the brethren, with the spirit. No. This is a life force energy. This is a DNA. This is a pattern that has been dormant. Amethyst came out again. There it go. Something about that soul intuition is in reverse. Citrine came out. I would definitely work with citrine, but citrine is nothing but amethyst. That's what they're trying to tell you. The yellow flame you looking for, you went from ruby to green. There's really no yellow flame. Remember, amethyst, they heat it up and turn it into citrine. So this could be some type of soulless connection. That's why I'm going to put this disclaimer in there. But then again, it may not, okay? Maybe your oversoul is protecting the vessel, but this world is so dense and polluted, like, I don't understand what the protection for. Not saying I'm trying to get caught up in anything to prove me wrong. All I'm saying, citrine came out in reverse, okay? So, if, let's say, an entity approach you and be like, you must lose your soul and gain all of me. No, don't do it. Of course not. Common sense will tell you that. But you have a waterway that has a sacred tunnel, which is home to a fire that you need to ignite. Now, you could sit up here and trick yourself and say, oh, I'm going to lose my soul. No, those people put their identity with the cosmos and everything under a contract. Not you. You're about to dibble and dab with your own energy on your own. And the amethyst is the key. Remember, we started out with this at the bottom of the deck. Citrine came out in reverse. You're dealing with gnosis and power. Once you ignite this falls off anyway. This falls off anyway. If you're in all knowing and all power, in your purple light, remember you go from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white light. I can't make it up no better. When you see an angel in that aura, they be in a steady light. So it's saying you're not going to be in this light. You're not. And remember, this is only a heated up version of an amethyst. Citrine, illusion. You're going to be all seeing, all knowing. I'm glad it came out in reverse. Oh my God. I wear citrine. But citrine is a step down of amethyst. And I'm a Scorpio. I didn't even read it. I just know it came out in reverse. So do not allow your solar properties to throw you off. Yeah, the sun give you life. But how much life has it given you to convert? When have you been a step down transformer that can turn into a ball of light? It's something else you got to do. It's a key factor you missing. When have you seen any of these plants on the planet morph into something else energetically with that sun? No, all they do is submit. It be too hot. They be about to get beat to death out there in that sun, and they just whip over. And when night come, they come back out. When the darkness come, the plants come back out. When the water hit them, the plants come back out. They only could take so much of that sun. That sun was a twilight. It used to be a mist out there. People used to have fully black lens eyes. I know, because I walked on that timeline. I did it. I had the lenses. Okay? So citrine came out in reverse. Illusions. Everything you can imagine is real. Everything you can imagine is real. You cannot get up to this purple ether if you stick around and wait on the sun to keep doing what it's doing. The sun could give you a baby. The sun has all the information in the world. Nothing's new under the sun. But that's still a step down. You're still experiencing this physical reality. You have not transformed. You know what I mean? You might need your Jinn energy. Remember, they did not put everybody in bodies. They did not put everybody in prisms. I'm not saying you're about to let something take over you. I'm saying you're about to activate junk DNA within your body. I can't convince you no other way. And it was like spirit put it out in reverse, like saying, you want some yellow, I'm going to give it to you. Illusions. Citrine. What did it say? That's what I was waiting to come out, but the devil came out first. That's all we need to know. Your yoni is a pentagram upside down. It's a waterway with a tunnel, which is home to a fire within you that resides within you. If you ignite that fire, you're doing good. Illusions. Everything you can imagine is real. Everything you can imagine is real. And imagine, there's a book right now. It's a yellow book with a red scorpion or a dragon with a red dragon. They took it off the shelf. They don't even have the image online no more. It's called like the golden blood. The blood of light. Why don't they want you to know how sacred your blood is and plasma and DNA is? And how you can harness things and cherish things? How long you gonna keep getting burned at the stake? How long you gonna keep getting crucified? How long you gonna keep allowing them to say you can't wear the pants? How long? How long you gonna allow them to say that the man has to be the mediator with God? How long are you gonna allow them to just keep telling you that you need a middleman to talk to God? When the devil right there. The devil the one who reminded you was naked in a garden and it was more shit out there in that world. And their geneticists set up there and reprogrammed you so you had to feel pain. Or did they reprogram you? Maybe you ate something forbidden that caused you to fall from grace. Or maybe you ate something that allowed you to see the truth. Imagine this, you're in this clean, pristine environment your whole life. and some aliens go to war with your creator. And now all of a sudden, God not talking to you no more. God busy. And you've been sitting for 5 years. The environment of the milk and honey is starting to get a little sour. No, there's no upkeep. There's no landlord, right? So then finally you decide to go beyond where you were supposed to go. Now you're on a search for God, when God and the devil was already in you. God and the devil was already in you. Let's get a few more cards. Let's do the alien cards. Flower life at the bottom of the deck. Spirit, can you give us anything on the devil that can help us put this devil gnosis together? Oh, flower life came out again. Okay. We got the Galactic Federation. Yeah. If it's this many, what make you think you ain't allowed to have access to the devil? Collaboration, meetings, and community. That's right. Welcome to the community. If you know, if you have a knowing. Some people, line of sight and line of faith is somewhere else. Flower life. Inspiration, awe, and dreams. Alpha draconians. That could be them. That could be them. The serpent. You got the genetics in you already. Nobody's telling you to lay down on the table and let a vril go in your eye. There's many types of reptile beings, okay? There's many type of dimensions, okay? Corrupt, unethical cults. Do it under your own discernment. I'm just doing my part. Whatever don't feel right. If you, for any reason, have to take an oath or a petition, sign any contracts, that's not you, boo. There's an entity, a part of yourself, an aspect of yourself within you, okay, that they have been trying to pollute and downgrade for thousands of years. Okay, there's books out there where women broke stuff down spiritually. They had herbs and all types of stuff, and they took that away from us. So you keep playing. But yeah, the Alpha Draconians cult may be the ones that do not want to fight this devil. They don't want no fight with it. They had to take down the woman before they took down the man. See, the woman had went to war, so she duplicated herself and created a man. Geneticists and stuff. She created a warrior race. But now the warrior race hate her, despise her. Okay? And they should, because they were supposed to be women anyway. Okay? They were not naturally like that. They was converted to that. So if all of a sudden I lost all my powers to God and the devil, and I gotta fight your battles and be a pawn, I'd be mad too. That's like you got all these surface walkers, and you got these advanced entities that's pinging us, ping, ping. They don't do nothing. They ain't got no energy. Who the fuck are we really looking for? In plain sight. Why you think they got the man all colorful and they got the woman cloaked in brown? Look at all the animals. Look at all the birds. All the female birds are cloaked brown for protection, while the man stand out and fight and display himself and entertain her. The man is supposed to be entertaining you. When you go to a club, you ain't supposed to be shaking your ass and doing this and that. No, that man's supposed to be dancing around parading for you, showing you that he's worthy enough to be in your presence. See, y'all got life all fucked up. And I be saying, well, why men don't talk to me? Why they so shallow? Because they don't feel like they could be in my presence. It's not that I'm fat, I got a gap tooth, or that I got my hair low, bald head. No, these men actually feel like they gotta do too much. And they see women all the time that they would show on their arm or walk on the red carpet. They ain't studying them either. The men know who they want. They ain't taking none of them women on red carpet they got laid up in their house. Trust me. Air element. Philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. Philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. Didn't I just tell you about that discrimination? Didn't I just tell you you might be too much for those people? When you go in those nice settings and you don't seem approachable, they just look at you like you're the mad black woman or something, when you're actually not. The tall whites. Uncertainty, distrust, and guarded. Right. See, they got them tall white genetics. Masculines do. And it's funny that air element came out. Philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. Any final words? Tell me more about the devil. Dang. Woo! Wait. Kundalini awakening came out. Naga serpents. Didn't I just tell you that these motherfuckers don't want you to wake up? They do not want the waters of Tiamat through the tunnel, which is your true home, with your true fire, to wake up. And remember, the planet is nothing but a replica of you. And the equator, this is your equator. So if you got stuff sitting on your energy, you're gonna have problems. That's why you gotta lose weight and work that part out. You gotta get that core back up and running. Right now it's just a pilot that's lit. You gotta get it up and running. Don't let these philosophies, listen. Don't let these philosophies, my receiver hand just started itching, y'all. Don't let these philosophies keep getting in your way. Don't let these bubblehead ass patriarchal people keep getting in your way. You got what it takes. You got that Naga serpent energy that they do not want to come out. Because if it come out, it will influence a nation and it will create a cult and mind control. That means you'll be telepathic. You can just change and alter a person's chemistry. They don't even have to speak to you. You know what they're thinking. You know what they see. You know their visions. And you're able to just completely control them under mind control. Tap into your works. That's the devil they don't want you to know about. And once you get the man in alignment, you find a man that can do the tantra with you, that's not actually trying to tap in and take, but actually trying to rise up to the occasion, you're really, really winning. I forgot all about the Naga serpents, the Kundalini awakening. That's why so much distrust and uncertainty. Because once you actually identify with yourself, the devil within, your oppressor called this the devil. But that's only a deactivated wound. That's only a dormant wound that was used to reproduce but not used to channel energy and psychic abilities. Okay? Supernatural powers. Any final things, Spirit? Oh, it's closed. It's closed. So that we have beautiful beings. I hope I was able to help somebody. Okay? And this message is for eons to come. Okay? And there we have it. Until next time, unearth the magic. The truth will definitely set you free. Mwah.